The MCU, without a shadow of a doubt, is my favourite franchise of all time. I just love the concept of all these different plots and stories rolling into one big continuous story, and along with that, some of the most entertaining movies I've ever seen. So, in the honor of the MCU getting rebooted and in the build up to Avengers Doomsday, I'm going to be ranking every movie in the MCU, going phase by phase, giving each one their own ranking video, then hopefully eventually making a top 10 list of my favourites. When it comes to the MCU and its phases, if I had to pick a least favourite, phase 1 would definitely be in the contention for the worst phase, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's bad, I would just say it's the most consistently mid-phase, with the exception of one or two movies. The only reason I would say it's not quite the worst is because it's the one that started it all, so you have to give it its flowers for that. However, when it comes to the rest of the MCU and all its greatness, it doesn't quite hold up nearly as well, with the exception of one or two movies that I genuinely think are incredible. But other than those two, I think the rest is just painfully mid. However, I'm not saying they're awful either. Even the lowest of Phase 1 is nowhere near as bad as some of the absolute catastrophes, such as Ant-Man the Wasp or Captain Marvel, which are genuinely some of the most boring movies I've ever seen. So, without further ado, let's start my Phase 1 ranking with